Whoa, 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 whoa. I don't know why that's playing. I'm trying to do all that. I don't know why that just popped up. That was strange. That was really, really weird. What's up, you guys? Son, how come you're not at church? Good morning, Dolores. I thought you'd be praising the Lord, son. That's right, you was partying last night with my boys, with Drew Hill, son. Let me see. Oh, we have an interesting story today, you guys. And this is a backstory. So we'll let a few more people come in here before we get started. But this is a backstory. Let me let my peeps get up in here before we get started this morning. Good morning, all over the world to all of you guys. Good night, whatever. Good evening, whatever. This is an interesting story, though. And this happens to be somebody I know. But I've been following this story for a long time when all the crazy stuff started happening with the hip hop preacher in Brooklyn. Let me see who's on it. Dolores, what's up? Make sure y'all come in and put y'all states in as you guys are coming in. Put your state in. Where you coming from? I know it's Sunday. I get it. We'll get started as we get more people in here. But just to give you a synopsis of this story is about, the pastor from Brooklyn that was sentenced to 9 years. Now, I knew this pastor. I've known him for years. Really, 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 really cool guy, man. So we're going to get into that story. It shocks me to see that. On one hand, I'm very proud of his accomplishments and the things that he has done. And on the other hand, I wish that, there was just a way that none of this would have happened because he's definitely a very sharp person, gentleman. He's a sharp guy, man. I'm just going to call it for what it is. Very sharp, smart, intelligent. I just wish that he hadn't got himself caught up in this situation. But stuff happens in life. There seems to be this attack on African-American men, and it seems like African-American men keep putting themselves in harm's way, which doesn't make it any better. Now, before we get started, yesterday I was talking about the fake story about the trucker, right? And that it wasn't real, and that Eric Darnell was a school teacher. Well, I looked at my comments, and I noticed that there was a few little comments that was suspect to me, which means probably that person sent them over to my channel. And they were saying things like, oh, well, how come you didn't contact that person and they got the information from somebody else? I don't give a fuck. Excuse me. I know it's Sunday, so let me just tone it down a little bit. I don't give a damn. If you knew the family, first of all, the family said they contacted you on TikTok. So I'm not trying to hear all that shit about you got the story from somebody else. If you did, you would have done the same thing I did, and you would have taken, when the family told you to take it down, you would have taken it down first. And then you would have went and redid a video and apologized to all the people that you led astray to believe that that story was real. But don't send your people in my comments, whoever those people were. They might not have been connected to you. But I just thought it was rather suspicious that some people would come in my comments of that video I posted yesterday and say, oh, she didn't even know. She just reposted what somebody else sent her. Her video was the first video that was on TikTok talking about that with the AI story. Explain that one to me. Not only that, when the family contacted her, like they said, the sister of Eric Darnell, how come she did not respond, and how come she kept it up? There it is right there. So don't come in my comment section leaving a whole bunch of bullcrap trying to sell me on the bullshit or my people that follow me. We're not buying it. Simple as that. You should have did a video apologizing to the family and correcting it with the people that follow you. Simple as that. Okay, so check this out, you guys. Let me see who else came in so I can say hello to everybody. So all my early ones. Let me see. Bridget's in here. No, is that Elizabeth? What's up, Elizabeth Dolores? Good morning. Good morning. Who else is this? Joyful Ladybug. Good morning. Bridget, all my usual suspects that are early. Let me see who else. Elizabeth. There we go. I said Elizabeth. And Malara. Hey, it's all my peeps. All my peeps that get in early. Barbara. Yeah. So we're going to go in. So listen, you guys. So this story is about the hip hop pastor. I'm sure all of you guys heard about the hip hop pastor out of Brooklyn. Remember the church? Somebody robbed the church while they were live in the middle of a church sermon. Some guys came in, and I think that was last year, maybe the year before, and they robbed the church. Well, I know this pastor, and it says pastor from Brooklyn sentenced to 9 years in prison for stealing from his church members. Now, why am I doing a story on this? Well, I kind of want you to see how African-American men, we can put ourselves in harm's way. We can be okay, and then all of a sudden, everything working great, and then we put ourselves in harm's way when we know that it's already set up for us not to win. Another reason I'm doing this story is because Bishop Lamar Whitehead is somebody that I've known for years. Now, I'll tell you an incredible story about Bishop Lamar Whitehead. We're going to read a little bit, and then I'll get into my story. Bishop Lamar Whitehead, who was a Brooklyn pastor known for his flashy lifestyle, has been sentenced to 9 years in prison for fraud and extortion charges. He reportedly stole $90,000 from members of his church, according to the prosecutors. Whitehead promised to help a parishioner buy a home, but instead, he took her retirement savings for his own, used it on luxury items and personal expenses. The victim lost everything. She had worked she lost everything she had worked for, facing the $40,000 in penalties and legal fees for early withdrawal from her retirement fund. Wow. They charged her a $40,000 penalty for withdrawing the $90,000 that she had saved, you guys. Lamar Whitehead is a con man, they say. The U.S. Attorney, U.S. Attorney General Darren Williams told Fox 11. He is a career con man and and liar who has been committing fraud for over 20 years to finance his extravagant lifestyle. Now, we're going to speak on that as well. Despite the convictions, Whitehead maintains his innocence, according to the attorney Don Florio, who plans to appeal the decision, which is his attorney, it looks like. The bishop was involved in other schemes dating back to 2017, including falsifying bank statements to secure a $250,000 business loan and extorting $5,000 from a businessman with promises of political favors. Court records reveal Whitehead has a history of legal troubles spanning 2 decades, which includes attempting to bribe an officer, using stolen identities to buy cars, and driving a Range Rover purchased fraudulently, okay? Prosecutors highlighted his lack of remorse, citing instances when he lied to the FBI agents about during a raid on his New Jersey mansion. In addition to his prison term, Whitehead faces 3 years of supervised release and must pay $85,000 in restitution, plus forfeit $95,000. In a separate incident in 2022, Whitehead made news when he was robbed at gunpoint during his live stream church service, with the robbers reportedly stealing $1 million in jewelry. One suspect involved in the robbery was later killed by law enforcement in New Jersey. So that's it, you guys. They're giving him 9 years. Now, why am I talking about this? I'll tell you why I'm talking about this. I actually knew this guy. I mean, I still know him, right? But let me tell you a little bit of my history with this guy. Now, all this stuff I don't know anything about. When I saw that he was a preacher, I even messaged him and I congratulated him and said, hey, man, it's amazing. I'm proud of you. This is incredible. You know, I never imagined that you would be preaching. I was truly blown away. I was truly blown away because after seeing him go from, like I said, I don't know anything about what all that stuff they're saying. I will say this. When he used to come to my studio here in Vegas, he was always, and this was back in like, this was back in like shit. I don't know. I think this was 98, 99. Yeah, 98, 99. That was years ago. He's a rapper. He's actually a great rapper. I did like a whole album on him. I have an album that Black Rob, if you guys know who the rapper Black Rob is, I had an album that has Black Rob on it. Who else is on this album? Black Rob. He had features from my boy Tretch from Naughty by Nature is on that project. Even features from Jay-Z. I still have the album. We never put it out. So his rap name was Lala, the hip hop pastor. He's actually a great rapper. So when he come to Vegas, he was always a cool guy. I didn't see anything crazy. All the stuff they're saying about him right here, I didn't see that. He was flashy even back then. He always liked his Louis Vuitton and stuff like that. But we worked great. We got in the studio. We did great work. It was funny. We hung out. And there was never nothing weird going on. He never approached me with no crazy ideas or whatever. They're saying that he was caught up in all this crazy stuff. I never saw it because when he worked with me, it was all about music and getting in the studio. He flew all the way from Brooklyn here to Vegas, and he would come in the studio and record, and we would record and we'd have fun. And like I said, I got that whole album that I never put out, featuring Jay-Z's on there with features. Boss Lady, thank you for the donation. You know, I always appreciate you. Jay-Z's on there with features. Black Rob, who's now passed away, rest in peace. Tretch from Naughty by Nature. And the whole album was crazy. We never put it out. We never put the album out. So when I saw that he was a preacher, I said, this is crazy, right? And I was so proud of him. I actually messaged him. I said, listen, Bishop Whitehead, congratulations. I'm proud of you. This is amazing. I didn't speak to him about the past and the music, but I was just so happy to see that he was a bishop now. I said, man, do you know how powerful that is? That's incredible because he has a book in him, and I can't wait. And I know one day, soon as he clears this up and he does his time and he gets out, he'll write a book because he's still a powerful person. And this is not going to be the end of Bishop Whitehead. He'll come back. He'll learn from whatever mistakes that he was accused of. He'll learn from it, and he'll come back stronger, smarter, and he'll move in the way that he should move. My thing is with African-American men, one thing we have to realize is we have to be careful, right? When black men are put in positions of power or prominency, you got to remember already you're in that position of power. And the powers that be are looking at you. They're watching you. They're trying to make sure you follow the rules because they're looking for you to break the rules. And you got to remember that. They're waiting for you to break those rules. He was in a very prominent position. He was a bishop. Sometimes money and power can be tempting to some people. Some people, it might be too much. In the case of Bishop Whitehead, he's already been around money. He's always involved with great projects and, artists, and everybody in Brooklyn knows him. All the rappers from New York know him. Everybody knows him. But I was shocked when I looked up and I said, I know that guy. Wow, this is crazy. So I'm telling people I know him. They're like, Stone, who don't you know? I said, no, I'm serious. I know him. But it's just crazy. They said, man, your stories are nuts. I'm like, yeah, he's the recording. I still have the albums. So I was actually going to say, Bishop, I still have those albums. Let's put them out. I still have the records. One day I'll play them. I'll pull up some stuff and play it for you guys. He's a great rapper. Bishop Whitehead, aka Lala was his rap name, is a great rapper. He's good. He had that New York vibe. He was great, and we had fun making those records back in the early late 90s. Yeah, the late 90s, early 2000s. We had fun. It was fun. It was exciting, man. And it was going to be, had he put that album out at that time, it would have done great, because it was a great, you guys, it was a great album. It was a great album. I just wish he had put it out, or we had put it out, because we did it together. Just know, African-American men, understand when we're in a position of power, if things are not done the way they should be done, it can come back and haunt you. It is a must that when you get in this position of power, that you do everything you can to stay in the right. Now, if that means you got to put the right people around you to make sure you do the right things, do whatever you got to do. Do whatever you have to do. Because you don't always get a second chance at doing this stuff right. Let me say again. You don't always get a second chance at doing this stuff right. You don't. You don't get a second chance. So when we are in the position, oh, thank you for the other donation. Who donated? Dolores, thank you for the $4.99 super chat. To my heart, I appreciate you for that, man. You guys are all love, man. You guys are all love. Listen, African-American men, you don't always get a second chance to do right. Sometimes that one chance is the chance that God gave us to get it right the first time, because he put you in the position of power for a reason. So you got to remember that he put you in that position of power for a reason. So you got to remember that. Like, if he put you in that position, it means that you're supposed to use that position for a proper reason, to change an outcome for the community, or to continue to change that outcome for yourself. When you get in that position and you don't do the right thing, it can mess it up for others that are coming behind you with that same sort of enthusiasm to be somebody or someone and to change their community. Now, from that point, everybody gets looked at. Somebody wants to be a black bishop, they start to get questioned, right? Thank you for the super chat. Who's that? Dolores? Oh, did you change your super chat, Dolores? I thought you gave me, did you do another one? If so, I know I got 3. Was it 3 or 2? Whoever, Dolores, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you guys, man. That's all love. So we have to remember, it takes a tribe to build together. It takes a tribe to keep an understanding. It takes a tribe to talk to each other and say, hey, don't do that. It's not enough black men talking to other black men saying, hey, be careful. Be careful with that move. If we had, back in the day, remember, we had our uncles that would do that for us. There's no longer a guide. That was the guide to African-American men, was their uncles or their dads. There's that community connection it's here now. It's no longer like it used to be. So we got to get back to that. The community has to get back to comforting conversation with their community and being able to tell each other, be careful. Young black man, OG black man, be careful. You're in a position of power. Be careful with your moves. Make sure they count. And make sure they count in a way that it's not going to affect you in the future as well as your community. I mean, what good is it to have greatness? What good is it to have a great situation and then you can't seem to do what you need to do because now you have messed it up for your whole community? What good is that? There's no fun in that. There is no fun in building something only for it to be torn down. Where's the fun? I mean, show me. Where is the fun in us building something in our community and then we got to turn around and retract and backtrack and go, oh, well, that's it, you guys. That's the end of that. I mean, here's a prime example. What, somebody must have came in here already trolling you guys. The Big Dice Chronicles. What's up, family? Think about this. Let me show y'all something. Do you remember, not even remember, each and every one of you guys on this live know a black person that owns a behavioral health company. Now let's think about the hustles in the black community. Let's be transparent and honest with each other. Okay, we're gonna have an honest conversation. How many of you guys remember the credit card hustle in the black community? Y'all remember that? Y'all remember the credit score hustle where, you know, you contact somebody and they give you, they could say they can give you, a credit line so you can buy a car. They can charge you $1,800 or whatever, or $2,500. Pretty brown eyes, what's up, baby girl? It's good to see you. Big Dice Chronicles said, just like the great pyramid scam. I just had a conversation about the pyramid scam just last night because a friend of mine is doing this new life insurance thing, right? And they're trying to call it sales. And I said, that's just a pyramid scam. They want you to work under somebody. You got to get out and do the legwork for that person. That person's going to make the money. You're going to make the bottom level money. That's a pyramid scam. The real people that are making money is at the top. And so my other friend said, no, it's an educational thing. Bullshit. Bullshit. It's a pyramid scam. You guys remember when the Chargers and the Challengers first came out, especially the Chargers, the Chryslers, right? People were getting those cars. So make sure you guys hit like too. They were getting those cars because there was somebody in the black neighborhoods who were doing credit, kind of like rescoring you. They say, hey, I can give you a trade line on your credit. I can give you 2 cars and a house. And they were doing this. They were putting stuff on people's trade lines so they can go to the dealership and leave with a car like that. They were saying, listen, we'll start a corporation. They were selling them corporations. Some were fake. Some were real. A lot of them were fake. And then police were pulling people over, taking those cars. I don't know if you guys this is all over the world in the black community. That was the hustle. Pretty brown eyes say, yes, I remember. They would say they would sell you a credit profile. Exactly. And they were doing a lot of tricky stuff, stealing people's credit profiles, you name it. I call that the hustle of the black community. Elsbeda. When Locha, Elsbeda, when Locha, hi. Hi, how are you? Thank you for tuning in. Okay, so everybody that got shut down, that hustle in the black community got shut down. Y'all know it got shut down. What became the new hustle in general, not just in the black community, but it was definitely prominent in the black community. I know because I know some companies here in Vegas that got busted for almost billions. It was a behavioral health business. That was a new hustle. I remember this guy I knew coming to me saying, I'm a millionaire, man. I'm a Stone. And you know what I'm saying? I'm a Stone. I'm a millionaire. I said, really? And I've known him a long time. I said, you a millionaire now? He said, yeah, man, you know, my business, you know. But when I found out that he wasn't a millionaire, it was his business, but he wanted people to believe he was a millionaire. Sire said, that's wild. Never heard of, yeah, Sire. Yo, Sire, what, this one I'm talking about? Oh, Sire, I want you to go do some research. It'll blow your mind. And look at all the people that have gotten busted for Medicaid fraud. This is the new black hustle, and it's still going on, but Trump came in and shut a lot of that down. 2 and 3 years ago by changing some of the things that you had to do to have a behavioral health company, because I think they knew the hustle. These people were double billing people. How do I know? There was this company I knew, and I knew the owner of the company because he wanted to get into concert promotions. So I convinced him. He asked me, he said, I want to do tours. He came to me. I put together the tours. He had a whole bunch of money. I was like, dang, wonder what he does. He said, oh, I have behavioral health businesses. Found out later on, listen, let me tell y'all something. When I tell y'all this is crazy, he wanted to have a record company. I started his record company for him. Now, mind you, I'm trying to figure out, this guy's got a lot of money. He's buying cars all the time. He's just buying all kinds of stuff, nice offices. He wanted me to work out his office. He said, I'm going to start a record company. You help me. You help me with the concert, setting up the tours. So I set up a tour. It was called the, it was called the OMG Funk, R&B and Funk Tour, right? I had Lakeside on there. I had everybody. I got Yarbroughs and Peoples, Lakeside, Steve Arrington, everybody. Stone City Band, the band I used to be with. And then I made myself the opening act. This was a big tour. I put it together. I brought a team of people in. We put it together. He wanted to go off into the entertainment industry. Now, mind you, as I am around this person going to the building, he bought a building strictly for the entertainment side of the company. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on because I'm seeing people coming and going. I'm hearing stuff. Well, this dude was double billing people, using people's social security numbers without their permission. And he was getting millions. Well, I had a dream. It's no joke. I'll never forget this. Once again, Cambodian Mystique is on this live. She'll tell you. She was around during that time I was putting that tour together because I didn't know much about this guy. But this same guy started to pull a lot of tricky stuff with the team of people. Now, I came in and assembled his people will hire me to come in and set up their entertainment company, distribution, music, tours, and I come in, I do that. I set all that up, got his company going. And he started to act kind of strange with me. So I started to feel funny about going into the office. This was December. The tour was already ongoing, right? I had a dream. Once again, Cambodian Mystique is here. She'll tell you. I had a dream, you guys. This is no joke. I text everybody, at least 4 or 5 people with that company. This is exactly what I said, including the owner. I said, I had a dream that the FBI came into your building and raided it. Do you know nobody listened to me but a few people? Elizabeth said he wanted clean money. No, the money was actually clean, Elizabeth. It was actually clean, but I see what you're saying. He just dirtied it up by doing dirty stuff that he didn't have to do. I had a dream. I texted at least 4 people with the company. And I said, look, I had this crazy dream that the FBI came into the building. They're sending me back messages laughing like, what? Stone, you crazy. I said, I'm sorry, man, but I know you guys don't know me well like that. But my dreams come true. All of my dreams, it's never failed. They laughed at me. They laughed at me. No BS. It's crazy. I got woken up at 2 in the morning in a chill sweat, and I recorded this. I sent each and every one of them the detailed recording of my dream because I wanted them to hear me waking up. I said, listen to this recording when I woke up, and it was detailed. Oh, this is crazy. About 2 months later, Elizabeth, my intuition is really scary on point, and it scares me a lot. 2 months later, I get a call from 2 of the people that was in that group message. And they said, turn on the TV. I said, why? They say, just turn it on. I turned on the TV. The FBI was raiding one of the buildings and headed to the other building. Now, let me tell y'all how my dream went. This is crazy. So in my dream, I'm in the building, right? By myself. The owner, that guy I'm talking about, comes in the building. I hear somebody coming, and no, wait a minute. I was in the building. There's a whole bunch of people at first. For some reason, we left out. I go back in the building. I was like, oh, I forgot my studio equipment. So I'm going back in the building. In my dream, I had a key. So I went back in the building, and all of a sudden I heard noise. And it was him asking me, what are you doing? I said, oh, I came to get my equipment. As him and I were standing there, I see flashlights. And I said, oh, the police is here. And then they come up the steps, and it's the police and the FBI, and they're looking for him. And they handcuff him. That's the message that I sent to everybody. 2 months later, exactly what I dreamed happened. Here in Las Vegas, they put it on TV, arresting folks, handcuffing folks. The owner, now listen to me. The owner, now, mind you, the government has stated anybody that reports anybody that's doing wrong with behavioral health, like let's say they stole 30 million. I think they give you 10% or 15% or 20% of the money if you were to report the person. I didn't know anything about that. And even if I did, I probably wouldn't have reported the person. I would just, that's their business. They caught up. That's on them. But I find this out later only because somebody told me that that's what the owner was thinking. So the owner, I think he called me, and he said it was strange that I would send that message to everybody 2 months prior, and then that same exact thing happened. I said, well, that's the thing. None of you guys were paying attention to me. I was trying to tell you guys I had a dream. Listen, I know you don't know me, but I've been doing this all of my life. This is nothing new for me. It's only a surprise for you. I sent that same message to you. I think it was a warning. I think God was trying to use me to let you know whatever wrong you were doing to stop. I don't know what to say, but all that other stuff you're thinking, you're wrong. I don't know anything about that. So that became the new hustle. Axe, get off my channel with the bullshit. We ain't having that this morning, Axe. Don't come here with that, Axe. Do me a favor, block Axe message. Don't delete him. I'm going to give him a chance to come in correct. True story, you guys. True story. Not made up. Good morning, Gen X. Thank you for stopping in. Hopefully you become a subscriber of my channel. I don't know if you are already. Hopefully you will. I thank you for coming in, Gen X. Please subscribe to the channel, like and comment, please, and thank you. True story. So the behavioral health company is the new hustle in the Black community. I hate to hurt feelings for those of you that might hear me saying this and you're bothered by it. It's the truth. A lot of people, not just Black people, a lot of people came into the behavioral health business because you can make so much money so fast because you're billing the government. You're billing the government. And they pay. But now they're doing audits on people. You know how many people in Vegas got locked up over scamming money? That's the new hustle. You can subscribe Olivera on the iPhone. You just got to download the app. For those of you that want to subscribe on the iPhone, download the YouTube app. And then subscribe, like, make sure you hit the all notifications. But you got to download the YouTube app on your phone. Olivera. Gen X said, I've never seen you before. I don't have premonitions and dreams. I just see them in real time. Okay, Jen, I have them in dreams as well as premonitions in real time too. It's both for me. It's really amazing. Since I was a kid, I'm 55 now. This has been going on all my life. This is how I've avoided a lot of situations in my life. Thank you, Jen. Make sure you subscribe, Jen. Yeah, I have the premonitions like crazy. I'm sorry, you guys, for all that. My apologies. You guys can hear me, right? This is a real story, y'all. That is the new hustle in the black community, the behavioral health. Because, you know, people going around talking about they millionaires, but what they're not telling you, Gen X says, me too, nobody believes me either. Keep going. Yeah, Jen, this is what I've learned to do. I write down all my dreams in a book. And there's been times I open and let people see it with the dates, and they're like, oh my God. I'm like, yeah, I try to tell you, or I let them hear my recordings. Now, let me tell you something crazy, Gen X, and everybody on here, specifically Gen X, because of what she said. Do you know that if you're the kind of person that has a lot of dreams, when people come around you, they will start having dreams too? There's people that have come around me that never used to dream or have premonitions. As soon as they get around me, they start telling me about these dreams they have. And I'm like, you didn't used to dream like that. So I noticed that for some reason, once those people get around us, they start having premonitions and dreams as well. It's almost like connecting electricity, the wire connecting and then extending that electricity through other wires. Those are people that are spiritually in tune and they don't realize it. Sire said, good afternoon, Charcetta. It's good to see you. Gen X said, the city police stole my notes. Wow, really? You need to get those back. That means something's going on with you for real. They stole your notes and your books. Make copies of everything you write, Gen X. Make copies. Sire said, my wife had a dream about two tsunami in California that day before the big earthquake in Japan that caused the two tsunami. Crazy. I laughed at her. Then it happened. Sire, tell your wife start logging her dreams in her notebooks. Keep a notebook by the side of her bed or her phone. Just start putting it in the phone when she has those dreams. That's deep. Better start listening to it, Brother Sire. Gen X said, my boo had a dream about me a few days ago. So true. Lois Parker. Hey, Lois. Thank you for stopping in, Lois. Thank you for stopping into my channel. We were talking about the hip hop pastor out of Brooklyn, how I know him. The one that had his church raided. Gen X said, well, I'll try to CC Cube and someone has my back. Yes. Yeah, we got your back here, Jen. Listen, you can start listening. We have fun here. We do some cool stuff. We have great conversations. So let's get back to what my initial conversation was. I was talking about, you know, scams and stuff. And they're sending Bishop Whitehead, he's doing 9 years in prison. That's the hip hop pastor. And I was saying the reason why I wanted to speak of this is because I knew him from earlier years. He is a rapper and he's a great rapper. Although I don't know why he never put out the records that we did together. But we did a lot of records together. And he had features with Jay-Z featured on it. My boy Tretch from Naughty by Nature, Black Rob, and other celebrities. And that album we did never came out. I reached out to him and I congratulated him for being a bishop because I was really proud to see him a bishop. Chef Banner said, I dreamed about Cambodia's king before they got attacked by Thai military. You did. I remember you told me about that dream. I remember when you called me, Chef Banner, and you told me about that dream. You're right. You did tell me about that dream. I remember. And I told you to write it down. Gen X said, take pictures of my notes and writing out. Good, Jen. Keep track of that. If the police are keeping your notes, Gen X, that says a lot. That means some of the stuff that they read, it kind of freaked them out. And they probably feel like, oh, shit, she's on to something. How does she have this in her writing? Rosanna said, I was in Paris in the underground. I had a sudden intense feel of anxiety and danger. I saw two strange men and wanted to report it. 1 week later, one of the biggest attacks took place. And Rosanna, are you serious? What attack was that, Rosanna? I think I remember, but correct me if I'm wrong. Which one was that? You need to start writing your dreams down, Rosanna. That is intense. That's a high frequency level. That's a high vibration because that one is like really crazy. I think I know which one you're talking about, but I just want to be correct. You see, here's the thing. The dreams are our guide. We have to remember that. Most people don't pay attention to their dreams. Some people disregard dreams. Roseanne said, I think it was attacks around 2015. The attack took place during a music festival. Okay, I do remember that. Wow. Did you write it down, Rosanna? Did you write that down? That was crazy. Did you write that down? Jose Rivera said, 100%, my sis was like that. Jose, is your sister still alive? And is she still like that? I'm sure she's still alive. And does she still have those dreams? If she does, make her write it down, Jose. Rosanna said, no, but I told my sister in Australia that I wanted to leave Paris because I felt something was about to happen. Okay, so Rosanna, listen. This is what you need to start doing from here on out. When you have those dreams, please start writing those dreams down. Cece said, my sister who died twice has many Oh, I'm sure she does. I almost passed away twice, and I wonder if that's why my premonitions have increased through the years. Gen X said, doesn't that make you feel like Pope stock is going to happen? Me? Gen X? Are you talking to Weston and one of our other, are you talking to Rosanna? Gen X? Jose Rivera said, yes, we'll tell her not to tell us because she was on point. Listen, Jose, all of my friends, the new Woodstock, exactly, Gen X. Okay, I know what you're talking about. You're 100% correct. Yeah, that's what Gen X was talking about, you guys. If you didn't understand, now you know. Jose, tell her. And you guys I hate to tell you, y'all got to stop being scared of her because my friends became scared of me. Like, Gen X said it's freaky. Gen X, it is way too freaky. Don't get me started. Jose, I know you guys are scared of your sister and you don't want her to tell you, but it's imperative that she tells you these things. My friends got scared of me. I barely have people that even want to come around me. Not because I'm a bad person, but because of my dreams. My ex-wife didn't want me to tell her any more dreams. A lot of my close friends didn't want me to tell them any more dreams. A lot of my family members didn't want me to tell them any more dreams. These dreams are there for a reason. It is a guide. It's a guide, you guys. You just got to learn to trust it. There's no need to be scared of it. I know you're probably worried that the person's going to have a dream about you and they're going to tell you some stuff you don't want to hear. But it's imperative that you listen to them. It doesn't always mean it's about you, too. I want you to understand that. Just because I have a dream about you, it doesn't always mean it's you. Sometimes I might see a person's face, but the story is a story that has nothing to do with them. But I might see their face because that's how dreams work. You have to figure it out. So don't be scared about it, you guys. Now, what I don't believe in reading of the cards because the Bible speaks against that. He gives us all the element of discernment. We don't need to read cards to know spiritual feelings. We don't need to read a card to know that. It's something that he gives us all. That's why the Bible says, we're born in his likeness and we walk in the spirit. If you're truly walking in the spirit, in the light, then those things are going to happen. You're going to feel and see things that you didn't know. Naturally, you're going to see and feel them because you're walking in the light. And it's what God intended for us to do. We're spiritual beings. That's what the Bible said. Olivera said, T.I. agrees, Stone. Roseanne said, thank you, Olivera. Rosanna said, Mr. Paxton, people either think one is crazy or looking for attention. So I keep that side. I used to keep it to myself, Rosanna. I don't do it anymore. I stopped doing it. It's like, why suppress the gift that God gave us? Gen X said, amateurs play with talismans, cards, idols, and stones. Exactly. Thank you, Gen X. Gen X just said something deep. Amateurs play with talismans, cards, idols, and stones. Talismans, cards, idols, and stones. Facts, because you don't need that. Because the source is real. It's inside of us. We just have to continue to create spiritual atonement to increase the awareness. More meditation, more chanting, more reading, more meditation, chanting, understanding, being one with yourself. William Johnson says, stay away from those palm readers and card readers. You'll open a portal you can't close. That part. Y'all see what William Johnson said? I'll read it again. Stay away from those palm readers and card readers. You'll open a portal you cannot close. And that's some real shit. Gen X said, too old to play around. I mean, people are amazed like a card that a man made is gonna tell you some shit. This is man-made, right? The gift from God to teach us what to make and design. But this is going to tell me about you. This here that a man made is going to tell me about you. Stop it. Stop it, people. Stop it. You see, spiritual connections are the most powerful thing you can have. It directs us, it guides us. So I've always listened to my spiritual connections. Point being, let me read what Rosanna says. She says, absolutely. My mom used to visit a lot of witch doctors in South Africa. I spent my whole life praying off terrible things happening because of that. Can I tell you guys a story that Angie Stone shared with me? And I wish my sister Juanita Wynn was on here. She'd tell you too. Miss Angie Stone told me that she had visited some witch doctors in Africa. I didn't believe it. Even though she told me, I just didn't see Miss Angie doing that. Sister Angie, right? Stoney. But when Juanita told me that it was true, it shocked me. Because sometimes us as black people, now don't get me wrong, voodoo was black people's origins of some of the original religions from Africa. It was. There's really nothing to be scared of. But I start to wonder, you got to be careful with the visiting of witch doctors and voodoo priests on certain elements, because you can start believing it so much that it becomes part of you every day. It becomes, you start to manifest exactly that into your life. Gen X said, that's it. Someone was telling him I was a witch. Someone in the road ghetto wild. Does she sell flowers? No. Is there a palm reader in the 5 points? Who knows? Probably across from, wow. So they had people thinking you were a witch, Gen X? Wow, that's deep. This is deep, y'all. Jose Rivera said, love this in my culture. It is taboo to talk about. Brother Jose. And even in the African culture, the same thing. They don't even want you talking about it. Gen X said, those ladies with the crystal balls. Wow. Jen, there's something going on with you. And it's not anything bad. And you need to harness that power and really gain control of it and really understand and respect the power you have, the gift that God gave you. Gen X said, they think more than that. They said I was, wow. They said they were saying you were the living dead walking amongst us normal people. That's what they were trying to say. So you've basically obtained somebody's body and you're just here living in somebody's body. That's what they tried to say to you. This is our Sunday conversation, you guys. I love having conversations like this. This helps us understand things that we probably don't want to talk about, that most of us worry about talking about. But how did I even get on this subject? This subject came from me saying that we need to pay attention to discernment so that we can make the right moves, and how black men get caught up in things because they're not paying attention to their spirit. That's how I got on this conversation. Like, it doesn't have to be black or white. It could be anybody. We got to pay attention to, and I was saying specifically because the stories were about black men and the things that were happening to, different black men like Bishop Whitehead. Like that could have been avoided had he realized the power that God had already given him. And we don't have to go take when the Almighty is going to provide for you. Make sure you guys hit like and give me some hearts, you guys. Olivera Langston says, Stone, what do you think about people having stones, crystals, and burning sage? Cyrus said, this comes full circle to what your topic, that stuff opens the doors to scammers too. Sire, facts. Olivera, what's my thoughts about stones? I'm big on stones. Why am I big on stones? Why am I big on crystals? I also believe in burning sage. I believe in the elements of it cleaning the air. Cleaning the air. Because it does purify the air. Stones and crystals have been on this earth before BC and then after. They are a part of the earth. They are a fundamental part of this earth and what really makes it work. Some of the stones that are used for all kinds of stuff. Technology, everything. Not only that, these stones also can be used to heal. They can be. It's a natural element from the earth. Facts. Gen X said the work on the inside, they are planted. They work from the inside. They are planted everywhere. Barbershops, hair salons, hotel. Every corner is red, white, and green. I got you, Jen. I see Jen, listen, I'm tapped into you. I feel you. I feel you. Gen X said, Mom used to use salt. Some people will put salt around their house. It is a protective barrier for a lot of things. Believe it or not, it's the truth. I mean, why would we be giving, you got to think who made crystals and who asked me that question? Let's go back. Olivera asked me that question. Olivera, God made crystals, stones, salt, water, everything. The air we breathe. Why would crystals, and this is what I tell people, why would the crystals or rocks be anything besides positive? William Johnson said, why is that movie by Denzel Washington called Fallen? It shows you how evil spirits move from host to host. Evil is among us, but needs to. Brother William, that movie had me freaked out. But let me tell you something. That movie made me understand why I don't shake people's hands. And people think I'm weird. I don't really shake people's hands, but that movie made me respect why I don't really like to hug or shake hands. The transfer of energy is real. Rosanna said, eating as clean as possible is also something that brings a great deal of peace and luck for some reason. Rosanna, that's a fact. And you know why, Rosanna? Because your body is a temple. It is a sin for us to abuse our body. It is a sin for us to hurt our body. Some people say, oh, work out, oh, eat right. No, we've forgotten the most important thing. And that is to keep your temple holy. Do not hurt your temple. Your body is the temple. We forget that. Samara Yasharai said, the Master's Voice Prophecy blog channel, Stone and everyone. Check it out. Celestial Prophecies, the dreams she had about Malcolm Jamel Warner came to pass. But to me, you guys are seers. Seers? Okay. Samara Yashua, thank you. We appreciate you. Thank you for that. That's interesting. Thank you for that. Samara Yashara Laya, am I saying that right? Alaya, the Master's Voice channel, Prophecy blog channel. Thank you. I appreciate you for even stopping in. I appreciate you. William Johnson said, you're 100%. I got to go see what she said before he passed away, Samara. That's deep. Gen X said, the only stories I have on me are diamonds and tiger eyes. Only stones, she said, she has on her are diamond and tiger eyes. People are really gigging out on the tiger eyes for some reason. They be like, ooh, those are real tiger eyes. They didn't mean anything to me. Yeah, those, I do the diamonds. I got the tiger eyes too. Those are powerful. I got you, Samara. I'm going to go research that. I want to see what she says. That's deep. Jose Rivera said, the transfer of energy is real. So true, brother. Yeah, I don't shake hands. Like, people, they be sticking their hands out. And some people have been offended by me not doing that. Mostly women get upset. Men don't usually say anything to me. Samara said, you guys got the gifts of seeing. Samara, thank you, sweetie. Thank you, Samara. Thank you for that. I really appreciate that. That means a lot to me. CC, I'm going to send you some stuff on the tiger eyes. William said, CC, Amazon Prime, $379. Yeah, but you need to, when you get them, CC, they need to be cleaned properly. It needs to be cleaned properly. Any stones or beads you get, when you get them, it needs to be clean. Yeah, Samara, I don't shake people's hands. Listen, the only people that get upset with me about that is usually women. Men don't say anything. I say, hey, I'm sorry, I don't shake hands. Women get upset about it. Especially black women. For some reason, they get upset with me when I don't want to shake hands. Gen X said, why would men want to shake another man's hand when they constantly have it on the palm? Gen X, I like Gen X. Gen X, CC, Gen X got the sense of humor like you. Gen X got your sense of humor, CC. Sharcetta said, I was gifted a tiger eye. Okay, Sharcetta, make sure you cleanse that tiger's eye before you put it on your arms. Cleanse it, put it in the sun for 4 hours, get some sea salt, rinse it off. You know, it needs to be clean. Samara said no, because whatever they're carrying, you got now after that handshake. Yes. And then, Samara, you got to go cleanse yourself. Like, for instance, I got this thing before people come in my studio. Elizabeth says, Stone, I hope when I see you, I can hug you. I'm going to sage you first, Elizabeth. I was just about to tell the story. So when I do let people hug me, I have this rule when they come to my house, right? Gen X got Joe. Gen X, you're funny. You are hilarious. Elizabeth, before people enter my house, I do two things. I either sage them or I burn sage in my garage before they enter my house. Then I'll let them hug. I'll sage them, or the sage is running, and then I would at least let them hug me. I still don't do the shaking of hands. I really don't like to hug. But if I must hug, that's how I do it. I got you, Elizabeth. Hey, listen. You guys crack me up because you get on here and you say some of the funniest stuff. Listen, let me read you guys another story, if you don't mind. Can I read this other story to you guys? This one's pretty interesting. I need to know you guys' thoughts of this, okay? Here's the story. Judge says California inmate on death row for 33 years must be released or retried. Let's get into the story. A federal judge has mandated the release of or retrial of Curtis Lee Urban, a convicted murderer who has spent 33 years in California's death row. The decision follows California Attorney General Rob Barretta's request due to prosecutorial misconduct in jury selections decades ago. The Alameda County Prosecutor's Office now has 60 days to retry the 71-year-old Urban or release Urban. IC Felix, thanks for the $2 donation. He said, did you ever attend a Diddy party? I'll talk about that in a minute. I'll talk about that in a minute. IC Felix, I'll explain to you. I'll give you the tips on that. Alameda County Prosecutor's Office now has 60 days to retry the 71-year-old Urban or release him. Urban was convicted for a 1988 murder for hire case. The ruling is a part of an ongoing review of numerous death penalty cases by Alameda County District Attorney Pamela Price. Price contends that the former prosecutors systematically excluded Black and Jewish jurors in practice dating back to the 1980s. The review that unveiled deliberated inclusions of these jurors in many cases, including Urban's, leading to the current legal actions. What are you guys' thoughts in that? Should he be retried or should they retire the case? I'm going to answer IC Felix case. IC Felix question. He asked me a question. He said, did you ever attend a Diddy party? I did. I've attended a lot of industry parties. I'm in the industry. I get invited. Everybody gets invited to those parties. Now, the question is, did I see anything? Absolutely not. I've been to the parties in the Hamptons. I've been to a party in LA. I've never seen anything. That's just my honest opinion. I met Diddy the same time I met Tupac back in between 91, I think 92 in Washington, D.C. at the Black Radio Exclusive Conference. I could have approached Diddy then. It was like, hey, man, I'm a producer. I was already with a label. But I didn't see anything at the parties. I'm not going to get on here and lie and make up stuff. I saw nothing. It was a normal party, but I didn't stay late either. I don't stay late to parties. When I'm at a party, I go in, I find a corner, and I sit my ass in that corner. And I don't move. I take my cranberry juice and I get in that corner. Gen X said, Michael Jackson said, who is it? Listen, CC, Gen X and Timothy both have the same sense of humor. Luckily, Timothy probably would be in love if he was on here right now. Malara said, they are really happening. This is really happening in the world these days. Yes, it is. He can beatbox his way out of here. I don't know who you guys are talking about. So what do you guys think about this gentleman that he's been on death row for what, 33 years? He's 71 years old now. They either have to retry or be released. Do you guys believe in prison reform? Do you believe that when a guy goes to prison, they truly reform? I have a brother that's in prison right now. Has he reformed? He sounds like he has. He went to prison for murdering someone. Even when I think about it, it's hard for me to believe. Cuzzo said, blessings, star, and greetings. What's up, Cuzzo? Ty's in the house. Malara said, Diddy knows whom he messes with. Yes, that's a fact. Elizabeth said, Stone, I am going to be honest. I saw a lot of few industry parties. Yeah, I mean, Elizabeth, I wasn't trying to see shit. I'm going to be honest with you. When I was at these parties, I wasn't looking for nothing. I was only like, let me come in, show my face because I was invited, and let me get the hell up out of there. Because truth is, I know how the parties go. Now, I saw drugs and stuff like that, at different parties. I'm not saying at a P. Diddy party. I saw music industry is full of all the normal stuff. People smoke marijuana, people do coke, that's normal. But I didn't see nothing when I was at a Diddy party. There's nothing to see. I wasn't there trying to see anything. I was there to show my face and to leave. That's it. You get invited out of respect, you show up. Icy Felix said, you're friends with Lord Jamar from Brand Nubian. Icy Felix, how did you know that? How did you know that I know Lord Jamar? That's interesting. That's very interesting. That's a great guy, by the way. Lord Jamar is the truth. Good brother. Sire said a person's surroundings when they are released is very important. You can't go back to the same shit that put you there. Oh, yeah. Roseanne said, how did you manage to stay clean in such a shady industry, Mr. Paxton? Rosanna, what a great question. What a great question. I'm going to answer that after I read one more. Charcetta said, my son is in prison, got 20 years for being a passenger in the car with the wrong person. I'm looking for a lawyer to look at his case. Wow, Charcetta, I'm so sorry. Cuzzo said, I always found a way to weasel out of those all-white parties. Roseanne, this is how I avoided to stay clean. From all the drugs and everything, I was never interested. Like, I've never been the kind of guy that was curious about smoking weed. Now, there's nothing wrong with marijuana. We found that marijuana is, in its purest form, is healthy for the body. And those that really need it for glaucoma and other things, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But all the other stuff, I've never done marijuana. I was never interested in doing it. I've never been the kind of guy who was curious. I think it starts with that. Gen X said, Kevin White blessed me when I was in Kevin White? Who's Kevin White? I mean, I know a Kevin White, but which Kevin White are you talking about? Gen X. Rosanna, yeah, I was never interested. Stephen What's happening? Welcome to the channel, family. I was never interested in drugs that enough for me to, my passion was really the music industry and dominating whatever I was doing great. Production, writing, arranging, being an artist. I never even cared about parties. That's the reason why I don't do a lot of red carpets. Icy Felix, thank you for the $5 donation. She said, I watched Jamar Godcast show, said him and comedian Godfrey had a fallout. They were tight. They went up against DJ Vlad, but a disagreement broke them. Man, listen, Icy Felix, this is what I'm going to say. I hope Brother Jamar and Godfrey work out their situations, because those are two black men, number one. And they don't need to be fighting with each other. There's so much stuff going on in the industry. We need each other. And they'll work it out. Godfrey and Lord Jamar, they'll work it out. They'll figure it out, man. Those are two good brothers, and they'll eventually talk and they'll work it out. They'll work it out. They will. And, I'm going to pray extra for that. Gen X said, the pastor that travels with other ministries. Black CB, salute, family. Good morning, man. I know I'm waking you up early. I appreciate you, family, for always tuning in. Black Sea Beats. William Johnson said, a person has to want to chance, then they can. I worked at a prison for 4 years, and believe it or not, it was 2 inmates that talked me into going into the military, and then I ended up, wow, Brother Chill, for real? Brother Chill, for real? Brother Chill, that's deep. If you guys don't know my brother Chill, he's a police officer, LAPD, so he always gives me some good insight, and I appreciate that. Gen X said, I don't have his card because the trash man took that too. When what? Went by white neighbors, paid them to steal all my... Wow, Jen, what's going on with you? Gen X? Gen X. Gen X, what's going on over there in your camp, Gen X, in your area? Gen X got some shit going on, y'all. Timothy, where are you? Rosanna, thank you. Wow, Rosanna. Thank you for the $50 See, my people, they're all love here, man. Gen X said, Rosanna said, great conversation, are very stimulating. Thank you, Rosanna. Listen, I always love when you're here, Rosanna. We miss our Scorpio too, but guess what? Rosanna kicked in and took a Scorpio. Rosanna kicked in and she coming in like you. Thank you, Rosanna, for that donation. My highest donator today, with love and respect, and I appreciate you. I appreciate all the donations with love and respect. Gen X at Black Sea, you know this guy, does he know Bugsy? Black Sea, you know this guy, does he know Bugsy? I guess that's a question for you, Black Sea Beats. William Johnson said, I would not be where I am today without Brother Chill. William Johnson, that's deep. Gen X, you live in the ghetto? Icy Felix, $2 donation said, could you mediate between Lord and Godfrey? Icy Felix, this is what I'm going to say. What I've learned in this business, especially the entertainment industry. Elizabeth said, thank you for taking care of my city. Thank you for your service. Elizabeth said that to you, Brother Chill. Icy Felix. There's a lot of people that could mediate, but this is what has to happen. Lord Jamar is very intelligent. Godfrey is very intelligent. And those brothers are going to figure it out, and they're going to work it out. Trust me what I tell you. They're going to talk, and they're going to work it out. Because Lord Jamar he vibrates at a high frequency. Godfrey vibrates at a high frequency. Two people vibrating at high frequencies, they can't be apart. It's going to be worked out. Trust what I'm saying. Nobody even has to mediate. Those brothers are going to get on the phone and they're going to talk to each other. When it happens, I want you to come back on my live and say, Stone, you were right. Because they both vibrate at a high. Those are very, very intelligent black men. I want you guys to understand that. Sometimes people can come in and cause dissension with high frequency vibrating people. But the people that vibrate at that high frequency have to remember they have a purpose. They are here for a purpose. And they have to remember that their frequency supersedes any bullshit in between. And when Lord Jamar and Godfrey get on the phone, one phone call is going to be, it's going to be, trust what I'm saying. It's not going to go long. They're going to be all right. Those are two good brothers, and I am going to chant and pray for their vibration to increase so that they both connect and they're back together, because those are some good brothers, man. My thing is to speak highly of brothers and not in a negative way. It's too much of that going on, and too many people will try to take this and twist it. No, those are two good brothers, and they're going to work it out. Trust me, they will. They will definitely work it out. Charcetta said, this channel is fire and for grown people. Thanks, Stone. Charcetta, listen, I know I say it all the time to you guys, but I thank you guys for even taking the time to even listen to me run my mouth. It is truly appreciative. I appreciate it. I'm thankful because you don't have to. I just thank you for stopping in and listening to some of the things that I say and making sense of some of it. Gen X said, Bomber, he cool. He half Asian minor, I think. Hey, Ty, doesn't Gen X remind you of Timothy? I don't know where Timothy is right now, but they have to meet each other. Ty Do said, Cuzzo said, yeah, once the sus settles, they will see the damage and make amends. Thank you. You heard? Listen. Icy Felix, you hear what my cousin just said? Ty Deuce, he said, yes, once all that sus settles, all the suspect sus settles, all the suspect things settle, they will see the damage and make amends. Yes, they will. William Johnson said, Bro Stone, I got stories for you, man. Seriously, listen, I know. I can't wait until you start your podcast. I'm excited about it. I can't wait. I'm excited about it. Those stories are going to be crazy. Gen X said, I bought him a burger next to the meat picking it. Hold on, you guys, hold on. We're going to have to bring Gen X on live one time because we got to see Gen X. We got to see Gen X face. Gen X got me cracking up. Gen X, become a member, Gen X, please, because you got the energy to be a member of this channel. So you need to become a member, please. Download the YouTube app. Subscribe, follow, hit all notifications, Gen X, but become a member. Charcetta said, would you ever go on Vlad TV? I would. I've been asked to go on Vlad TV. When the right time comes, I'll do it, Charcetta. I will. But my interview with Vlad TV will be like no other. Trust and believe that. I ain't going up there like I see a lot of brothers going up there doing the song and dance, the master song. It ain't happening. Not here. And that might be a reason they would probably never have me on there. Because I'm not going up there with the song and dance. It ain't happening. Ivan Hernandez said, what's up, Paxton? Been a while since what's up, Brother Ivan? What's going on with you, family? It's good to see you. It's been a minute, fam. Man, thank you for stopping in, man. Bridget said, Godfrey said DJ Vlad is the feds. You never know. In this world, we don't know anymore. Nothing is what we think it is. Nothing is what you never know. I don't know if that's true or not, so I'm not going to speak saying it is true. I don't know. I just know certain things I see. It's kind of weird to me. Ivan said, what's up, everyone, everybody? Ivan Hernandez said, what's up to you guys? Listen, I don't know that to be true, so I'm not going to put out any negative energy about Brother Troy, what's happening. I'm not going to put any negative energies out about Vlad because I don't know that to be true. I don't know if Vlad is the feds. I have no idea. But I will say I've seen some strange things that I've been just curious about, like, it's weird, but hell, I'm careful about speaking on things and people when they've not spoken anything negative on me. That's one of my rules, right? Like, I'm not going to speak on something I don't know, especially if nobody's spoken negative on me. Why? That's just being very fair, right? Black Sea Beach said, I'm not defending Vlad, but those be on their telling on themselves. There you go. See, people want to blame Vlad TV. Let's go deeper. Let's not blame Vlad TV. Let's blame these ninjas that go on there and tell all they goddamn business. Now, we can't help if the feds watch those kind of channels. That's not Vlad's fault. That's not Vlad's fault. Vlad don't tell them to get on there and say shit. Now, once they start talking, he might ask them a question. But they're going on there. These cats go on there with clout, trying to blow up. Bridget said, Godfrey felt betrayed because the Lord Jamar betrayed the black community. Let me explain something to you guys about Lord Jamar. Lord Jamar would never betray the black community. I know people are thinking that's what he did, but he will never betray the, but he's black. He might say certain things. I might say certain things that might appear to be something that black people don't like, but it doesn't mean he betrayed his people. I think sometimes people can take things out of context. And like I said, when Godfrey and Lord Jamal speak, it's all going to be fixed. Other than that, we're just trying to figure out what they're thinking, and we can't. Imitation time, Stone. Black CB said, next question is all you have to say. Next questions. There we go. Hey, Black C, listen, cats get on there and tell all their business. They get pumped. They start feeling themselves, and they just tell all their business. Some cats that go on there, and then all of a sudden, they get caught up in a federal case. Vlad didn't tell them to come on his channel, hey, I need you to come on here and tell all your private business. But what he will do, like a journalist will do, if you say something, Vlad is going to, he's going to say, oh, well, why did that happen? And did you have a problem with, that's what a good journalist does. Samara Yashua said, guys are the Hebrews in Deuteronomy 28. And if we could stop sinning like the heathens and cry out to God like our family did in the Old Testament, God would do a lot for us. Thank you, as long as we stop it. Samara is the first person that has ever gotten on my channel and said what she said. I'm digging it. I already told you guys, your people suffer for the lack of knowledge. You know better, you're supposed to do better. Bridget said, Lord Jamal speak facts. Yes, he does. He does. Come on, man. That brother vibrates at a high frequency, him and Godfrey. So I'm giving credit to the both of them. They will figure it out and they will work it out. Sharcetta said he has a right to his opinion. Absolutely, he does. And nobody can take that away. Gen X said they painted him black like D thinks Steve Martin. He made, what the hell? Gen X, you have to meet Timothy Potts. Oh my God, I wish he was on there now, because you guys y'all say the most randomest shit. William John Chill said, the same reason you should never talk to the police without an attorney. And I'm a cop. We will use it against you in court, and detectives by law have the right to lie to you to get you to talk. There it is, you guys. Brother Chill just broke it down. So Brother Chill, these guys get on Vlad TV. Vlad doesn't have to be the feds. He's not in the business to be the feds. He started his channel as a journalist, as a podcaster. He doesn't have to tell these guys to say shit. They will freely get on the show and tell all their damn business. He has never had to force them to talk. They are on Vlad TV. They trying to get known. They trying to get seen. Brothers have to start being smarter. If you know you've done things that you know you're in a current case, ongoing, or you're being watched, why would you get on a show and tell your business? Why? You just incriminated yourself. Vlad has to do nothing. He doesn't have to do anything. But people think he's the feds because cats get caught up after his show. That's not because of him. That's because of themselves. If people got on his show and keep their business to themselves, that's like Al Capone being alive and all the gangsters and them going on Vlad telling everything they did. You don't think they're going to get caught? You don't think somebody's going to be... You don't think these feds are watching Vlad's show to watch these guys tell their story about what they were really doing in the streets? Vlad don't make them do that shit. Y'all better start using y'all brains. Sire said if it's so easy for them to tell their business, they have no problem telling someone else. Sire, there we go. There we go. Thank you. Y'all hear that? Let me read it again. Sire said if it's so easy for them to tell their business, they have no problem telling someone else's business. Well, and in the black community, what black folks call that? Snitching. But they'll tell their business, and you're right. If they can tell their business, what's it to them to tell somebody else's business? Black Sea Beach said, exactly. Exactly, Vlad. He doesn't He does lean into certain, he leans in because they set themselves up. Think about it, Black Sea. If somebody came on my show and I'm not asking them certain questions, I might say, where are you from? They say, I'm from here. Yeah, and back in the day, I used to do this and do that. Now I'm leaning into the questions like, really? So what exactly did you used to do? Because they set it up. That's great journalism. That doesn't mean he's the feds. And I'm not taking up a Vlad. I don't know Vlad like that. I'm just telling you that's great journalism. A journalist's job is to catch the statements so they can come back with another question. Brother Chill, William Johnson said, I tried to school people to keep your ass out of jail. Brother Chill, you've helped a lot of cats if they listen. And if they don't, guess what? You see them and be like, how? I just seen you in 20 years. Oh, you didn't listen to me. I was trying to tell you. Gen X says, Samara is the name of the woman that murdered my mother. Damn, Gen X. Well, Samara's a good person on here. And trust me, Gen X. So I'm sorry that that's the name that unlike your mom. But Samara on here is a great person. William Johnson said, he's not the feds. However, anything over the internet, if requested by a judge, they have to give up the video by law. Now, that could be where people are thinking that Vlad is the feds when he's not. When they come on with the stuff that they're saying, and if the judge requests for him and summons that information, he has to give it up, just like I would. If I interviewed somebody and they were talking and I asked a question and they said something incriminating and the judge hits my channel up and says, we need that, I can't say no, then I'm liable of going against the courts, the judge, which I can be held liable. That's a criminal action. Tydeus Cuzzo said, Samara, Yahshua, many are called, few are chosen, meaning many will see the truth, but no one will want to follow. Shalom. Ivan Hernandez said, they always listening. Brother Ivan Hernandez, they are always listening. Gen X said, a police officer said he interviewed me when I was in shock. I seemed just fine after my skull was cracked open up from, damn. Okay, we're going to have to pray for you, Gen X. Damn. Samara said, I'm sorry for that. How horrible, Gen X. Damn. Wow. Gen X, we are very sorry. Black C say, volunteering information. Gen X said, don't F with the bear if you don't want to see its teeth. You feel me? Gen X, I'll say again, you all right with me. Gen X talks in a way of just, it just keeps you on the edge. I spit the truth. If people don't like it, that's their problem. It's all good, Gen X. It's all good. We got you, baby girl. Samara said, I am not the one. Thank you, Stone. Yes, Samara, Gen X, Samara's not the one. Samara is on my channel as a subscriber, so we do still have to be respectful of each other because we're all here out of love. You know, we understand your story, though, and we respect that. And we love and light to your mother and her memory and her legacy, sweetie. But remember, this channel, we're all here for love. Nobody's against you. We with you. We are with you 100%. Samara, we are the light of the world, meaning if we, the world, follows obedient Hebrew, they will find the path to eternal life and our living instructed to us, given to us first. Gen X said, working on trigger names and purple-haired people, not all Smiths are the same. Facts, Gen X. Thank you for recognizing that. Not all people are the same. I mean, I know a lot of guys named Jimmy, you know, but there was a bully back when I was young named Jimmy. So every guy named Jimmy, I don't dislike him because his name is Jimmy. Cyrus said, Gen X been through the ringer. Damn, yeah, Gen X been through. Gen X, we respect that. Isaac Gamer, what's up, family? Thank you for stopping in. I appreciate you, brother. Gen X at Garcia, Mendoza again, and their associates in Guzman in the SB Police Department. Gen X said, I know the girl that murdered my mother. She isn't pretty like Samara. Respect. Thank you, Gen X. Let's keep it positive, Gen X. We're here for you, though, but let's keep it positive, though. Listen, so this guy that's 71 years old, who did 33 years he was a hired hitman. What's you guys' thoughts? Do you think that they should release him? Because the judge is saying either release or retry. It's been 33 years. Release or retry? He was convicted of murder in California. Should they release him or should they retry him? I'm thinking at 71, they probably might just need to let the man out and let him go on with the rest. He only have a little bit left to live. I mean, you know, he could live another 10, 15, maybe 20 years. He was found guilty in 1991. Should they let him go? Or should they retry him? What's you guys' thoughts about that? Rosanna said, we are a small but interesting group on this live tonight. It's the right time over here in Europe. Thank you, Roseanne. Rosanna, I'm glad you caught me today. My cousin said, Stone Paxton Music Live blog has just seen the live, finding out the missing truck driver story was a troll. I wish you would have put me on that case. I would have seen Cuzzo. You know, I'd just be moving. But that, let me tell you something. Somebody came on the comment section and tried to say, you should have talked to her. No, I shouldn't have talked to her. She should have responded to Eric Darnell's family when they asked her to take the shit down. She shouldn't have continued the lie. Sire said if he was a hired hitman, he's probably safer where he's at. Interesting thought, Sire. I didn't look at it like that, huh? But maybe whatever fate he has left, if they let him out, if something happens that, you know, he got his freedom, but karma took care of it, right? Gen X said, let him go. He can hide in Maine with the rest. Test his fate up there in Maine. That Gen X is something else. Charcetta said, Gen X, we are family and we love you. Yes, we do love you, Gen X. You're loved here at this channel. I don't know about any other channels, but when you come here, we pour out the love. Charcetta just told you. Malara said they should let him go and release him. I believe they should just release him. Black Sea Beat said it's all about the money. They probably won't retry him, unfortunately. And if they don't retry him, they're going to have to let him go then. That's what the judge is saying. TikTok content creators, Cuzzo, they want that weekly check. That's all they care about is that weekly check. Bridget said, if the older man gets out, how will he live? Does he have family? I'm sure he does. I'm thinking he has to have family. He lives in Cali. He's probably got family and friends. If he doesn't have a place to be PO'd at, they're not going to let him out anyway, I don't think. I think that's how that works. Right? Brother Chill, is that how that works? If he doesn't have a place to live, he won't be PO'd. They won't PO him if he doesn't have a place to live? I'm not sure how that works, but I think that's how that works. If he doesn't have a PO, a place to be paroled, they probably won't let him go. And at this point, would they even put him on, would he even have a probation officer after he's done that many years? I don't even know. Bridget says, Stone, when a person is in jail for a long period, it's hard to adjust to the outside. I know. Bridget, my brother will get out when he's 70 years old. And I think about that all the time. He's in prison for murder as well. Elizabeth said they will find him a halfway house. You're right, Elizabeth. I forgot about that. Charcetta said if it's federal, he would be from anywhere in the United States. If it's federal, he could be from, okay, gotcha. Cuzzo, thank you for the donation, Cuzzo, the super. Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. I appreciate you, Cuzzo. I don't know. I think they should just let him out. I think they should just, you know, let him spend the rest of his time, even if he has to be in hiding. The man's done 33 years, man. Yeah, he did wrong. Yeah, he was hired to unlife somebody, you know. But it's like the man's in his 70s now. What really can he do? I mean, I'm not saying he can't do it again, but at this point, he's done 33 years. You really think he wants to go back and do another 33, which he would never make it another 33? Listen, I'll say this again. My initial entry conversation to this was, how black men have to be conscious of their power, how they have to be conscious of being in positions of power, right? That's how this started. The positions of power. We're talking about Bishop Whitehead, the preacher, the hip hop preacher out of New York. And I was telling you guys how I know him. That church that got robbed in the middle of their congregation, their service, I know him. I knew him. I worked with him in the studio as a rapper. He used to come from Brooklyn here to Vegas and record with me. We did a whole album. He has a great album. He has features from Jay-Z, Tretch, from Naughty by Nature. He has features from Black Rob, who's no longer here, rest in peace. And it was a great album. Everybody in New York knows Bishop Whitehead, AKA his rap name was Lala. I worked with him. I just thought it was, what a coincidence, right? That he became this great bishop. And believe me, he had a great congregation. I'm praying that when he gets out, because he changed his life, man. And I get it. I know some people say, well, he did wrong, Stone. I'm not saying nothing about that. I'm not arguing or fighting against the fact that he did wrong. What I'm saying is this. He corrected his wrong. He became a preacher. Now, the whole money thing, I don't know nothing about that. Of course, you know, older person and you $90,000 and that's the only money that the old person has and you took it, that's not right. But all I'm saying is, you know, when a person's trying to do right, the devil can work. And I think that he'll learn that. He's got 9 years. He'll get out. This will be a lesson learned from him and he'll bounce back and he'll be stronger than ever. Because at the end of the day, he was trying to do something productive as a black man. Know this, black man, when you're in a position of power, understand that you are put in that position of power because the universe and God has put you in that power. So that responsibility is bigger than what you realize. And you are being watched at every step. Who's Cortez? I don't know who Cortez is, Gen X. I don't have a cousin named Cortez. I don't have a family member named Cortez. But who is that? Who are you talking about? Black men, understand you are in a position of power. Anybody that's seeing this young black man with lots of money, older OG with lots of money, just remember, it doesn't matter who you are. You got money and power. You are being watched and they are waiting for a mistake. It's a setup already from the get. Long as you know that, you can navigate and dodge all the situations. You can navigate and dodge all of the situations that can put you in harm's way. But the most important is you got to remember that you are in a position of power. Gen X said, did he ever get out of the retirement home? He's in Vegas. You know how many people are in Vegas? I don't know who he is. I don't know. Vegas is it's like 3 million plus something people in Vegas. I don't know who Cortez is, Gen X. I have no idea. I'm sorry. Yeah, be more specific. Cortez what? What's Cortez's last name? What's their mother's name? The Stone family. What's the mother's name? Bridget says Shannon Sharp did not listen to Cat Williams and Monique. Not only that, I think a rapper, Little Duval or somebody even was talking to him. Shannon Sharp brother Shannon knows better. He knew better. But sometimes your habits can get the best of you. Thus the reason I make sure my habits, I know Sly Stone. I know Sly Stone very well. I knew Mr. Sly Stone. Sometimes your habits can be the demise of you. So that's the reason I make sure my habits are toys, remote control cars, musical instruments, martial arts and training, painting, and remote control airplanes. I've made those my habits. not liquor, not drugs. You understand? Like, I made those my habits so that I could get used to the things that I want to be my habits. I didn't make my habit women. I didn't make my habits hanging out and kicking it, smoking, weed, whatever people's preferred drug of choice. I made my habits the things that were going to keep me grounded. Nature, toys. I'm like a kid. I love remote control cars and airplanes. Before there was the drones, I've been doing remote control cars and airplanes and painting and martial arts and music. I'm a recording artist. I'm a musician. That's what I do. So I've made my habits all those things. No, but if I come across them, I'll tell them that I talked to you, Jen. I don't know. I have to ask around some different friends and stuff. Yeah, I saw that other lawsuit that Shannon Sharp has. Sharshetta said Shannon got bigger than the program. I'm not sure he wasn't set up. I'm not sure he was. He had some powerful conversations on it. But listen, Sharshetta, I agree with you. But look, if he was set up, think about what I said earlier. I said black men give them the chance to set them up. He spoke all of his vices on his show. He would tell people the stuff he liked. So if they were going to set him up, they already knew because he already spoke it. All right, we're going to talk about Cortez the next time, Jim. Right now, I got to stay on this subject. But if I do see him, I'm going to let him know what you say, Jen. Don't worry. I know a lot of people, so I'm going to find out about this Cortez around town. Listen, he set himself up. I'll say this again. Because he shared his vices. Javon, what's happening, family? I'm good. It's good to see you on here, family. Sharshetta said he gave them ammo. Exactly. So earlier I said black men need to stop giving people opportunity to set them up. If you get on there and tell somebody everything you like and the kind of stuff you like in your private business, are you not telling them your vices? What makes you tick? What turns you on? All you can do is buy me a remote control car. Stone like remote control airplanes and remote control cars. You can meet me at the little RC track or the RC airplane airfield or in the martial arts dojo or meet me on the mat in the tournament. That's about all you're going to get from me. I've always made sure I controlled anything I deemed that could have been a habit. So I stayed away from liquor and drugs. I stayed away from putting myself with situations with getting too obsessed with having many women. I made sure that I kept myself under control so I don't have to deal with things that can get me caught up. Tydu said, cuz we just was chatting about this, how they go after our vices. Exactly, cuzzo. That's the only way they can get you. I mean, you know, they try to get me, they'll be buying remote control cars and airplanes. And I'll know. I'll be like, well, damn, that random person just bought me 10 remote control airplanes. Somebody just bought me 10 remote control airplanes and 5 remote control cars. I mean, you know, you can have the right vices too. You just don't want the wrong ones. They'll send women if you're into women, they're going to send the baddest women. If you're into drugs, they're going to make sure the baddest drugs and liquor is there so you can get caught up. Once they know your vices, once you let them know, that's it. Brother Time says Stone and God's good people. Hope everybody's having a zen and peaceful Sunday. Stay consistent and healthy. Brother Time is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. He's always on time. We always appreciate you, Brother Time. I'm saying, y'all, Ivan Hernandez said, I need to find a hobby like you. I've been going through it lately. Yeah, Brother Ivan. I don't know where you live at, but when I get my remote control cars back, tuned up, you can always come and we'll go to the desert and sit out there and I give you a control and I'll take a control and we'll have some fun out in the desert. That's me. But I got you, Brother Ivan. You should. It's fun. I'm not going to lie to you. It's very fun. Gen X said, I'm into BJ's for breakfast. What? Well, I'm into BJ's for breakfast, but I guess those days. You get the towel, Gen X. Gen X is a mess. Oh, BJ's a restaurant. See, look, y'all got my mind somewhere else. You still get the towel. Then CC say, no, CC say BJ's is yummy. Okay, I got it. I'm sorry. Listen, look, Javon, did you not think she was saying the same thing I was thinking? I'm just saying. There's one around the corner from my house. Listen, any of my brothers on here that don't have nothing to do, you can always pull up. I'll get the remote control car. I really got to get my cars back together because I left a lot of them at the last house and I don't know what happened to them. But I'll get you a remote control car. We'll race on the weekends. We'll have fun. We'll race, man. Eat some food, take the cars out on the track, race how. It's fun. I'm telling you. Ivan Hernandez says, sounds good, bro. Been wanting to see Vegas for a minute. Yeah, anytime you pull up to Vegas, Brother Ivan, hit me up. Hit me up, family. Let me know. And I got you. We'll hang out. We'll go, man, we'll go to the game rooms. They got this game room. They put all the old video doggone it, the old video games, the pinball machines. I'm sorry, I said ping pong. The pinball machines. They got like this whole arcade, 80s style. J Bomb used to say, that's funny though. I love remote control car. Yeah, man, listen. I like the ones with the cars with the big knobs, with the big tires. You take it in the desert, bro. It's so much fun. You build the ramps. Man, I'm a big kid, man. Gen X said, I had movers come and give me an estimate. I was supposed to move to Blue Rose Drive in North Vegas, but my aunt's second husband started off in my family. We could have been... Gen X, what is happening? Where do you live at, Jen? Brother Chad, what's happening, family? Listen, Brother Chad, we got a new subscriber. Her name is Gen X, and she is funny as shit. Jen, what state you live in? Humanitarian activist said, Pac-Man, humanitarian activist, family, welcome. Good to see you, good to see you. Anybody that calls me Pac-Man has to be somebody that's been knowing me for a minute. So that's got to be somebody that's known me for a minute because that's what people used to call me. Good to see you, family. Charcetta said, respect and blessings. Chad Coffee said, welcome, Gen X. Oh, you're in Santa Barbara. Okay. The ghetto. I've never been to the ghetto of Santa Barbara. Is it really ghetto or is it mildly ghetto? Teresa Harris, what's up, Teresa? Listen, so today my topic was, I was talking about the bishop out of New York. It was a bishop called Bishop Whitehead, who they just gave him 9 years for taking $90,000 from a church member after promising her that he would get her a house. She was charged a $40,000 penalty for the money being taken out, and he never got her the house. They say he used it for cars and getting his own thing. DJ Kid, what's up, Chat Town Beats? What's happening, family? What's going on? I'm going to be back on my channel with the beats, so I might go live today in the studio, freestyling like I always do, you guys. Hey, Gen X said, Pac-Man, those are the MySpace days. Yep, for real. You're right, Gen X. So he got 9 years, Bishop Whitehead. And if you guys don't know who Bishop Whitehead is the hip hop bishop out of New York when his church got robbed at gunpoint. Remember they robbed them? I know the guy. I did a whole album on him back in the day. His rap name was Lala. He used to come from Brooklyn to here. We did an album. It features Tretch by Naughty by Nature, Jay-Z, Black Rob, and some others. And I did that whole album on him here in Vegas, and he was a cool dude. He's always been a flashy guy. He always Louis Vuitton bags and luggage. He's always been that. But I was proud to see that he had became a preacher, and I hate that he got caught up. I hate that he allowed himself to get caught up or being tempted by whatever vices. And that's what I was saying. As men, as black men, as people, as humans, as anyone, we have to control those vices. And if we got vices that can get us caught up, we need to get control of those vices so that it doesn't get us caught up, especially people in prominent positions, specifically black men, because there is an attack, obviously, on black men who have put themselves in situations that clearly they probably knew, not even probably, they knew before it happened that they shouldn't have put themselves in that position. Now, I don't care what nobody say. That's what I believe. Because I know I'm conscious of my moves, and I know if I put myself in a bad position, then I'm putting myself in a bad position. So I have to be aware when I'm in a position of power, making sure I watch what I do. Teresa said, I've heard of him. Yeah. Hola, DJ Kid, Chat Town. J Bond say, that's so sad how these pastors do. Seriously, they use God as a cover up for their flaws behind the scenes. Mcuzzo said, Ty said, when preaching becomes a hustle, the rise and fall of Bishop Whitehead. Cuzzo. Nicholas said, black men. We have to be smarter. Brother Nicholas said, black men. Yeah, we have to be smarter, you guys. And Cuzzo, he's a cool guy. He's solid. Like when I was working with him in the studio, I never saw none of that. He paid me for my work, and it was never nothing crazy. Teresa Harris said he has some beautiful children. Yeah, his whole family, beautiful. Beautiful. I hate that he works so hard to put himself in such a great position. But this will be a learning lesson because he'll have all this time to sit back and think of the mistakes and make sure he doesn't make those again. Cuzzo said, Taidu said, some of these cats go into theology schools not to serve God, but to finesse a congregation. It's like theology became a hustle. You know, me and my mom used to talk about that, Cuzzo. Sicko said, couldn't find you again, but what's up, man? How you doing? How you going? Sicko, what's up, family? How you doing? You couldn't find me? It didn't show up on your alert? I don't know if you have the YouTube app, but if you don't, if you download the YouTube app on your phone and hit subscribe and all notifications, that's why people are not getting the notifications. Gen X said, Nicholas, because the African culture was the first targeting majority minority. Yeah. Sickle said, what did you like about the industry? What did you like about the industry and what did you not like back then? Wow, that's Sickle asked a great question. Sickle asked me, what did I like about the industry and what did I not like about back then? I'm gonna read one more from my cousin Sickle and I'll address that. Cousin Ty said, why do folks ignore red flags just because someone says, God told me we should, then ask what gods are you referring to? Shit. Music industry, family. Sky, I'm in the music industry. Sicko. So, what did I like about the industry back then, Sicko? What I liked about the industry back then, more people were working together. More people were working together. It was more of a movement of let's build together, right? What I didn't like about back then was we weren't in control of as much opportunity we have when it comes to our finances now as artists and producers, and we weren't in control of the stores. With digital distribution, it has leveled the playing field between the major record labels and the independent labels now. Back then, we didn't have that. Back then, you barely could get a record in the store on consignment because the major labels came into the record stores locally in every town and bought up all the shelves in the store so that they wouldn't have competition with an independent record label. That's what I didn't like about back then. And I didn't like that we weren't able to truly be in control of our finances. Nowadays, there's no excuse for an artist not to be successful. I don't care what nobody says. If an artist is not successful now, it's because they're lazy. Sky and Tune, yes. I'll have my moderator. I do reviews now, you know, $50 reviews. If you want me to review your music and give my opinion, I do $50 reviews. Or I'm going to start doing a live review where I actually play your music and let everybody on here give their opinion. Now, if you want me to do a private review, my moderators will send my email address on here, stonepaxton@gmail. You can email me. And you can cash at me, and I'll review your music, and I'll call you, and we can talk about it. It's up to you how you want to do it, family. That's my email address at the bottom right there, Sky. Okay, I'm going to start doing a live, Sky. I'll start probably doing that live on every Tuesday, and I'll do it in the evening, and I can preview your music. It'll be the same price, $50. I preview. I get all my people to give their opinion on your music and their thoughts, and I'll start doing a review. I said I was going to do this anyway, so you're the reason why I'm probably going to go ahead and start it, because I keep saying I was going to start it. So I'll probably just start that this Tuesday, start doing a live review of artists, rap, and R&B. If you want your music review and you want me to play it for my people and get their opinion, long as it's tasteful. I don't want none of that crazy stuff. I don't want because you got to remember my channel is about mature folks. So if you want your stuff played, just give me the good shit. Don't give me the crazy stuff. That looks like Chinese? Hold on. It looks like Japanese, right? They say, you look like Felix from Stray Kids. That writing looks like it's Japanese writing. I'm looking at it. No, Chinese writing. Say, you look like Felix from Stray Kids. I don't know who Felix from Stray Kids is, brother. But thank you for coming to my channel. Hopefully you subscribe to my channel. I'm an artist, producer, writer, arranger, and I work with everybody. Yeah, EA Ski is my brother. That's my boy. That's my peeps right there. Sicko said, I'm 23 and I'm an artist, rapper myself. I can't say I agree because I wasn't there, but that's how it seems. No, Sicko, that's not how it seems. That's how it was. I'm just telling you. I'm 55. I work with everybody. I've been in this business now 43 years. That's how it was. I'm only telling you from experience. I always tell people, if you want to know about the past, ask those that were there, and they're going to give you the truth. And that was the truth. That's how it was. Teresa said, that's so cool, Stone. Sharcetta said, like, comment, subscribe, turn on. Yes, please, listen, like, subscribe, comment, listen to Sharcetta. Turn on your notifications, please. Sickle said, also, it seems like the talent was bigger than the image or the look as an artist. Okay, back then, Sickle, it was crazy. It was about the image. But back then, you knew the song before you knew who the artist was, right? Like, you knew the song. Like, everybody knew the song, but they might not have known the artist. Now, people will know the artist, and you get what I'm saying? People will know the artist first because of their image, and then kind of like the song later because of social media, because now people have videos. Videos are a very prominent part of selling a product. Now, you can't have a product literally almost now without a video. So back then, you knew more about the song. In the 80s, when we were young, in 70s, you knew the song and might never even known what the artist looked like until it was time for them to do a concert. Zulu Keeping Up with Jones said, you need to charge more than that. You deserve more for your time. Zulu, see, this is what I'm talking about. Do you see that comment? Zulu Keeping Up with the Jones. Read what Zulu just said. You need to charge more than that. You deserve more for your time. Zulu, thank you. Because guess what? My CC and Cambodian Mystique, as soon as I got off this live, they would have both said the same thing you said. And I appreciate that. And you're right. You're right. I should be charging more than that because I have history. I paid my dues and I'm still paying my dues. Cuzzo said, man wore designer suits, drove Bentleys, and told the congregation to sow into his lifestyle. Now he's doing 9 years in it. And this just one guy, or is the face of a bigger problem in the black church. Well, Cuzzo, you know, That's the black church for sure. Come on. I mean, they want to pick on Bishop Whitehead. They probably should have been looking up some other black preachers. If that was the case, y'all gonna do that because y'all claiming Bishop Whitehead did this and that. But how many other preachers that you haven't researched that have been doing way more than that little $90,000 you guys said he took? Holly, what's up, Holly? Holly Marisky. Long time no see, Holly. Gen X said Tuesday, I used to like Tuesdays. I used to make tacos on Tuesdays and Mondays was mom's spaghetti and Toledo diamond breadcrumb meat. You're making me hungry, Gen X. So, okay, so my man, whoever hit me, my young artist here, hit me up if you want me. Tuesdays, I might do that. If I get enough people that submit their songs for Tuesday, I'll do that. Now, if you submit yours, I'll do it only with your song, and we'll talk about music that day. But if you don't hit me up, I'm not going to do it for Tuesday. But if you hit me up, I will feature your song on Tuesday, and we'll talk about your music, and then I'll start a series of listening to artist music where we'll do that on a regular basis because a lot of people ask me to do that. And so we'll start doing that. A lot of artists ask me for their help. I mean, to help them with their music and exploit their music and their brand. And anybody looking to promote their business, if you're looking to promote your business, your new album is out and you want to promote it, you want me to talk about it, hit me up. Hit me up. Hit up one of my moderators. You can hit CC up or you can hit me up. Mystique don't really like people hitting her up. She's like, I ain't trying to get a whole bunch of messages, but you can hit CC up or you can hit myself up if you're interested in me promoting your business, advertising your business on here. Just contact us and then I'll let you know what it costs for me to promote and talk about your business or whatever you're doing. A reason why I'm saying that because I get a lot of people asking me, can I promote their business too? Zulu, keeping up with the Jones. I appreciate you for that. That was awesome. What you said was 100% real and solid. And I thank you for that because I need to remember that. I need to think about my history and what I've done and the dues I paid. And I shouldn't just be on here just, I've done that. I've done so much free stuff and helped so many people. I said I was getting back to doing Stone Paxton, but still want to be able to figure out how to help artists. Okay, you guys, listen. Happy Sunday. I might go in the studio later. Hold on. Somebody just said something. I might go in the studio later. Hold on. Yeah, I might go in the studio. I haven't decided yet. Malara said, I am back. Mikhail, what's up? Zulu, keeping up with the Jones said, I believe in you. Thank you. Thank you for believing in me, family. I really appreciate that. And listen, for those of you that might not be privy to my music, I want you to go to iTunes and download my new single, Life's Frequencies. Probably within the next couple weeks, I'll be shooting a music video. I'm still kind of getting all that together. Shooting a music video for the song, Life's Frequencies. For those of you that have not downloaded the single, my moderators will put the single in the bottom. Ram, thank you, family. You like it? Thank you. Yes. Did you get a text from that person, Chef Banner? Yeah, I'm back in town. Oh, Ram, you like Absolutely Into You? Thank you. Yeah, I love that song too. I keep saying I'm going to do a video for that. Cyrus said, peace out, have a good day. Listen, all you guys, yeah, that track was awesome. Okay, you guys, peace and love. I will catch you. Like I said, I might come on later. And I might be in the studio working on some records. We'll see. If so, you'll see me live in the studio. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate everything you always do. Gen X, thank you. Make sure you subscribe, Gen X. Make sure you subscribe, all right? Be safe, Gen X. We're all here for you. But I want you to meet Timothy Potts, because you and him, you guys are so funny. You kind of say some of the same stuff. Peace and love. Happy Sunday. Love all of you guys, man. Thank you for always tuning in. Who's that? Pete, what's up, Pete? Peace and love, Cuzzo. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you to everyone that has donated to the channel today. I might, once again, talk to you later while I'm in the studio. If not, I'll see you tomorrow, but I might log back on. Peace. Happy Sunday. Be safe. Ciao.